What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to Tech Conversations. I am your host Guillermo. It is September 11th. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. In today's video, I want to talk about a question that I get asked all the time. What do you do when you're selling a cash secured put and the stock price tanks far below your strike price? And I'm sure that anybody who sold puts in the past has had this happen to them. This certainly has happened to me. And so I'm just going to go over a couple of different options that you have when this happens. So before I get into that, all I ask is that you guys hit the like button down below and subscribe, guys. It really helps out the channel. What I want to first start by doing is I want to go over to ticker symbol PLTR, Palantir Technologies. Reason being that I sold some puts on this stock. So let's go over to those puts that I sold. So remember, the way selling a put works, and more specifically a cash secured put, is that you basically find a price that you're comfortable buying 100 shares of that stock. You sell your put at that strike. So I'm comfortable buying 100 shares of Palantir at $24.50. I sold my put at that strike price. Now for selling this put, I received a premium. I received a credit of $13. And so ultimately what's going to happen is one of two things. On expiration date, either Palantir, the price of Palantir will be $24.50 or higher, or it'll be under $24.50. If it's $24.50 or higher on the expiration date of September 17th, this expires worthless. Nothing happens. I keep $13. Now, if on the expiration date of September 17th, Palantir is under $24.50, at that point, I have to buy 100 shares of Palantir at that strike price, $24.50 a share. And it doesn't matter if Palantir is at 23, 22, 21. I have to buy those shares at $24.50. And keep in mind, every time you sell a put, you do have to put up collateral, enough money to potentially have to buy those 100 shares. Now, let's say since I sold this put at the $24.50 expiry next Friday, what happens if Palantir for some reason drops to $20 a share by next Friday? And that's what I want to talk about here today. So let's start off by just visually taking a look at what this would look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the option strat, which is again, is a really great tool to use. You should always use this, especially when dealing with options. Now let's go over to short put, which is basically the same as selling a put here. Now again, we're taking a look at PLTR right now. And again, I sold two puts. Let's just pretend I sold only one put, expiring on 17th, and I chose the $24.50 strike. So this is almost what it looks like. I received a little bit more premium, but this is ultimately what it looks like. And again, what happens now if on the 17th, on Friday, Palantir drops to $20 a share? Well, let's take a look here. If it drops to $20 a share on the expiration date, I would instantly be down $439. Right? And that makes sense because I would be assigned 100 shares at the $24.50 share price. But since Palantir is currently at $20, I would instantly be down $4.50 a share. But I did receive a little bit of credit, so I wouldn't be down $4.50. I would just be down $4.39. But ultimately, I'd be down a lot, right? And again, I'm sure a lot of us have found ourselves in this situation. So what can you do when this happens? Now, of course, the main thing most people do when they get assigned is they switch over to the other side of the wheel strategy and they start selling calls. The only problem is if Palantir drops to $20 and you were assigned at $24.50, you're going to want to start selling your calls somewhere around the $24.50 strike. The problem with that is that the premium you're going to get is not going to be that high. You'll probably make $5 if that every single week. Palantir trades sideways for a long time, it's going to take a while for you to recover, right? Of course, the other thing you can do is that you can accept the loss and move on, right? Take the $440 loss, especially if you believe that the stock will drop further. But again, most of the time, people aren't going to want to take a loss, a huge loss like that, especially when you're selling options, right? So what else can we do? Let's take a look here at some other alternatives. So here's the first thing you can do. And I'm going to go over to Apple stocks. So AAPL here. So I'm going to go over to Apple here because I have something that's going to make sense here. I'm also selling puts on Apple. And if we take a look here, I'm actually currently down quite a bit on these. Why? Because Apple took a huge hit on Friday, right? It dropped quite a bit. Now, keep in mind, my strike price is 146. Apple is still way above that. So, even if it stays at this price, that'd be completely fine. But let's just pretend that, this expires today. Let's pretend that Apple's share price is actually below my strike price. And again, as you can see, I am down quite a bit. What can I do here? How can I salvage this? So the first thing we can do here is we can actually lower the price at which we would have to buy the shares at. Because right now, since I sold the put at the 146, I'd have to buy the shares at $146 a share. What if we can lower the price at which I would have to buy these shares at? So let's go over to the options for Apple. Let's take a look at how we could do that. So what I would do is I'm going to go over to the put here, because again, I'm selling puts here. And I would go to, I'm going to close out of the current puts that I'm selling, right, at the 146 strike. Now remember, to close out of a put you sold, you need to do the opposite transaction. So if I sold a put at the 146 strike expiring September 17th, I'd want to buy that exact same put. That's how I would close out of that position, buy to close it. So what I would do is I would go ahead and buy that exact same put, same strike price, same expiration. So I would go here. Since I'm buying this put, I do have to pay $147. Now let's just pretend I only sold one put, just to make this a little bit easier to understand. So I have to pay $147 to close out of this. Now what I can do is I can go over to the next week expiration. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell a put, and I'm going to sell a put where I'm actually still going to get a higher premium than what I'm paying. So I'm paying $147. So what I can do is I can sell this put right here and still get $156. Ultimately, what happens here? I'm still getting a credit, right? $9. So I'll still make money if this new one expires worthless. And I'm closing out of the current put that I'm selling. So I won't have to buy my shares at 146. More importantly, though, if I do get assigned an Apple now, I'm only gonna have to pay $144 a share. So I went from having to pay $146 a share to now only having to pay $144 a share. And again, I'm still getting a credit, so I can still make money if this expires worthless. And ultimately, you can continue to do this every single week, right? The following week, if you're still in trouble, you would go ahead and close out of these puts that you're selling right here and drop the strike price even lower. So basically, we're rolling our option forward, going to another expiration, and we're rolling our option down. We're choosing a lower strike price. And again, ultimately, if we do get assigned, we'll have to we're lowering our price at which we would have to buy our shares at and still getting a premium. So that is one option that you have here. Now let's take a look at a second option here. So I'm going to go over to ChargePoint, CHPT here. Now I have 100 shares of ChargePoint at 23.16. So I am down almost 10% on my ChargePoint shares. So let's say that you do get assigned. You do get the 100 shares, right? You didn't have time to roll over. You were ultimately assigned, and now you have the 100 shares. Well, remember, I told you that the problem with having the 100 shares now and starting the wheel strategy on the other side by selling calls is that if it's down that much from your average cost, the assigned cost, the premium's not going to be that high. And so, for example, if I go into the options for ChargePoint and we take a look here, if I sell call at the 23.50 strike, I'm only making $13. Not a whole lot of money there, right? $13 every single week. So it'll take a while for me to recover. So what we can do here with a different strategy is we can try to recover faster from the huge drop that we went through by doing something different than just selling calls. And so here's what we would do with this one. So what I would do is I would go out a few weeks. So let's say October 1st. And I'm going to start by buying an at the money call option. So remember, at the money is where the current strike price and the share price are basically as close to each other as possible. So share price is 20.89. Closest strike price to that is 21. So I would buy this call option here. This is the at the money call option. Then what I would do is I would sell 2 out of the money call options. And I still want to receive a credit after doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sell my calls at the $22 strike. And if I go up here, I can change how many of these I want. So I want 2 of these here. So as you can see, I'm still getting a credit, $51. And again, I bought a call at the money. I'm selling 2 out of the money call options. Now, this chart won't really show you what's happening here. So again, we're going to have to go to the option strat to take a closer look at this. So I'm going to go to build and I'm going to go to covered call here. And I'm using charge point. So I'm going to go CHPT here. And then remember, I bought my shares at, what was that? 23.16. So 23.16 here. And so I went to October 1st and I went ahead and I bought a call at the money call, 21 strike, and then I sold 2 out of the money calls at the 22 strike. So here's what this looks like. And so now, as you can see, I'm getting a credit, right? I'm still making a profit. I can still make a profit if this stock goes up high enough, but my break even now is only 21.82, 5.4%. So the stock only has to go up 5% now for me to break even, right? Whereas if I didn't do this, right? If I, for example, remove this one and I remove this one and I just sell a call, it would have to go to 22.55, so up 9%. So by doing this, charge point only has to go up 5% rather than having to go up 9%. So I'll recover a lot faster. And you can kind of take a look and mess around with that. But ultimately, this is called the stock repair strategy. And so it allows you to recover a lot quicker. The stock doesn't have to go up as high as if you were just selling a covered call. And so again, we went ahead, we bought 1 at the money call, sold 2 out of the money calls. You can play around with them, but ultimately that's how this would look like, right? So again, bought that at the money call and sold 2 out of the money calls at the $22 strike. Again, ultimately our break even is a lot less than if I were to just sell a call on its own. And again, we can actually still end up making a profit from this. So again, it only has to go up 5% in this scenario rather than 9%. So those are really some options you have there. There's really not a whole lot. Sometimes you just have to hold on to the shares for a while and be patient. But these are a couple of things you can try and recover from a huge drop in price when you're selling cash secured puts. So if you have any questions about anything I just talked about, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.